My name is Erica Marks, and I have the pleasure of sitting with Miss Darieth Chisolm, the #1 rated video podcaster and author of Hustle, Why Now is the Time to Unleash Your Passions. Thank you so much for being here. And what brings you to Cleveland?
Oh, I love Cleveland. This invitation to be here at the Cleveland Library has been absolutely fun. I enjoyed spending time presenting my See and Be Seen workshop to a group of entrepreneurs as well as some students.
Nice.
And it's always a pleasure and a joy to help people really decide who they want to be, dream really big, and make those desires and dreams come true.
Well, speaking of students, we have students here today. So we wanted to know, do you get to speak to students often, and how do you think they did with the workshop?
Oh, they were such a delight. In fact, theirs were some of the first hands to be raised. They posed lots of really great questions, commented. I was really impressed. Many of them were interested in entrepreneurship, and so obviously in that line of questioning, since that's the space that I primarily work with people, it was a joy to hear from them. And I mean, these kids have big aspirations and dreams, and I can't wait to see them flourish and develop their own businesses in years to come.
That's awesome. We want to know, did the audience leave you with a takeaway from today, and what stood out to you the most?
That's a really great question, Erica. You know, when I think about that, most often it's what do I think people walk away with or take away? And you're asking me in my reflection of what my takeaway was. I would say that we all desire to be heard. Many of the people, because people were so responsive, and I love an audience that is that way, were very honest and raw and transparent in where they were and some of the challenges that they were having. And the fact that they were all willing to talk about it openly, engage in conversation, allow me to coach them, so to speak, and open up the dialogue and conversation was breathtaking for myself, but rewarding in many ways.
Nice. What are 3 tips you can give people to encourage them to push forward in their goals?
One is definitely done is better than perfect. That came up very often in our discussion for our workshop today. And it's something that I hear lots of people say, is we've got this illusion that things must be perfect before we can get it out there or go forward or let it be known. And we all know that there is no such thing as perfection. And yet we work under this guise, this impression that things must be perfect. I say done is better than perfect. Get started, figure it out along the way, take imperfect action towards your goals and dreams. When you're facing a challenge, and most of us do and have, we often want to shrink and cower in it. And sometimes those challenges become so overwhelming that we give up entirely. One of the best questions I've learned to ask myself is, who do I need to become? Who do I need to become in the face of this challenge in order to get past it, to move through it, to get over it? And so asking yourself in the face of a challenge or an obstacle, who do I need to become, really forces you to think about who you are. And then you can ask yourself next questions like, what do I need to do, and who can I turn to, and what are the appropriate actions? So simply asking the very question, who do I need to become, I think is the second thing. And the third thing is that when you are facing those things and you find that you're just not getting to that goal, or that dream really isn't happening just yet, because there is some setback that has showed up, let it be your setup for your next success. Dig deep, figure out what went wrong, and how can I retool and repurpose, and how can I show up and serve? Because oftentimes when we take the focus off of ourselves and think about other people, it makes it easier for us to get up and try again.
So we heard that you are a library lover.
Love the libraries.
Yay! So what makes libraries special to you?
Libraries are special in so many ways. Well, for one reason, I can remember taking my son very often as a young kid to the library, and it was so nice to see him go through, book after book and really want to spend time in a quiet space and reading. I read multiple books at a time, and there's no better place to come to find resources that are right there at your hands. And libraries obviously provide that. But the nice thing about libraries in this day and age is that they offer so many more things. I mean, maker spaces, multimedia projects, computers, supports, groups. I mean, the libraries are just such a huge resource that's available to us. And, we've all, have the internet right at our fingertips, always on our cell phone and at our computer. So we often Google things and we find our time away from the library. And yet there's so many interactive and interpersonal things that can occur in a library. And so I hope that people will use their libraries much more often.
We hope so too.
Yeah.
Everyone that attended today received a copy of your book, Hustle. Can you tell us a little bit about the book and where they can find more information?
Most certainly. Hustle, Why Now is the Time to Unleash Your Passion is literally a book, a compilation of steps towards success. And so I break things down, like really developing a crystal clear why. When you've got a goal or a dream, what's the why behind it? What's the driving force for you? I talk a lot about developing I am statements and the use of those two words, I am, connected with whatever you use behind it, really becomes the declaration for who you are. So choosing more positive words, such as I am capable, I am successful, I am worthy, versus things like I am sick, I am tired, I am broke, I am overwhelmed. You can see just in the use of the language, the conscious language, it either leaves us feeling more empowered or more disempowered. So I am a huge proponent in using strong I am statements to help you refine your message to yourself, let alone that message that you send to the world as an individual. I also include many excerpts from interviews that I've had over the series of a few years with my YouTube Hustle and Heart TV online podcast. And so I interviewed some 57 successful entrepreneurs, and I've taken some of their excerpts and tools and tips for success. That's included in the book. And there's a lot of fun antidotes in there. So I hope that people will pick up a copy of it. You can find it at my website, DariethChisolm.com, along with several other tools and information that I have available.
Thank you so much for visiting us. We had a great time having you here today.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it, and I totally enjoyed the conversation and the dialogue with so many people here in Cleveland. So thanks for inviting me.
Thank you.